that behind me?
I don't know, but it is on yours. You're fine. Don't worry about it.
We've just been tailing my
So yeah,
Do you
this
have
is
weed
the.
on you?
Yeah, I got some weed on me, but we're good. This is the podcast.
Oh, are you live? Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Hi guys, welcome to My Blood and My Coffee.
Yeah, just a little impromptu.
We're fucking very, very, very medicated. Feeling pretty good.
Yeah, but it's late at night.
Late night stroll.
And there's nobody out here, so like
Except
that.
for a very possible cop, right?
Yeah, you could just stop here and take a right.
That's
And
what I'm
yeah, so we're headed back to my house. He's dropping me
How
off.
much one Bay's gonna take a ride with me? Yes,
You think
sir.
so?
He is.
Oh.
He wants to join the fun.
Oh.
You get a good glimpse of him?
Oh, it's definitely not a cop. It's a
Oh,
fucking
okay.
truck.
Alright. Hey, thanks for the fucking midnight scares.
Yeah.
But yeah, welcome to the podcast. We had a pretty boring weekend, man.
Yet another
Little
lame.
snooze fest.
Yeah, I mean, all right. Who? What are some names? Just throw out some names. For me, the heavyweight on ESPN, the kid Jared Anderson. I meant to catch a glimpse of his fight. Brendan, you caught a glimpse of the fight. It was obviously he fought the caveman guy.
Oh yeah.
Obviously pretty
Was that
one-sided.
decision? What?
I think he stopped him ultimately,
Okay.
but yeah, that was the 6th rounder. Yeah, we only caught like one round. He was pretty much whacking this caveman guy around.
Yeah, he was definitely catching them. And you called it too, man. You were talking about how he was in there, just this little tune-up, kind of feeding him in the meantime. Guys.
Yeah.
So it was good seeing, just a good little work from, what's his name?
Jared Anderson.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Tyson Fury gave him a shout out. I saw I think on his Instagram or something. Yeah, you can take a look too. You're good. Don't worry about it. You don't worry about it. So yeah, Tyson Fury, I guess, is checking on this kid. He must be, I think, 6-0 at this point with another knockout. And that's pretty much what it is at this point. ESPN just trying to put something on TV, slowly trying to market young talent like, Jared Anderson, Shakur Stevenson. I've been watching since his career started. So, and it was I wasn't thoroughly entertained. He did start up the first round sort of slow, and then I think after that he kind of just found his pace. And Brendan and I were kind of preoccupied doing other shit, but we did tune into it. And yeah, it's about I'll check for his next fight. Hopefully it's a little more than a caveman next time, the opponent.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then what other fights did you catch?
We had the UFC card. Sakaya and Overeem.
Overeem.
OSP and Minaev.
Sakai Overeem comes to mind for sure.
Yeah. Well, OSP is the one that got that walk-off left jab. Left hook.
Okay,
Just
yeah.
knocked him clean out.
See, that was the.
So that was the co-main.
Yeah.
You
can take it right here.
OSP, man, he's dangerous.
What does that stand for? OSP. What is that?
Oven St. Preux.
Oven St. Preux.
That's his.
Okay.
I may even be pronouncing the fucking hell out of that wrongly, but he's a submission specialist, so he's not really known too well for his striking. He's fought Jones in the past and took him to a decision. So he's definitely fought some talent, but yeah, man. Overeem, I feel like, just kind of did what he did in his last fight with Walt Harris, man, and just turned it into a ground and pound, got top control, uses wrestling, uses ground game to his advantage, and just Sakai couldn't do it. But with that fight, man, up until that point, I at least had Sakai winning one of the rounds, if not two of it. So It could have been even going to the 5th round, but Overeem definitely turned it on in the 3rd and 4th round.
Right.
With the ground and pound. The 4th round almost got.
Overeem's the guy.
You could have made a case for it to get stopped.
He's the guy with like the bloated. He had kind of like a bloated stomach in a way. Like he was a big dude.
Overeem.
Yeah, he was a big dude. And then Sakai he was a big guy also. But I'm trying to paint it back in my head. He
Overeem's got the black hair.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah. I thought that Overeem could have done that pretty much almost the entire time. Maybe he had to tire Sakai out a little bit to get him to the ground like that, and then start pounding him away. I mean, he hit him with some elbows, man.
Fourth round, they like I was saying, they could have caused, they could have called for a stoppage on that round.
Yeah, you're good, bro. And take it left here coming up with this little stunt.
But yeah, man. I mean, other than that, it's been
pretty dry, man.
It's been pretty slow. We've got couple things happening. There's some of interest. People that follow the Contender Series, they ordered 3 out of the 5.
Yeah, this is actually a special edition of the podcast, by the way, because I think this is our 2-month. This is our 2-month of the podcast, and we're actually doing it together.
Yes.
So
we are in person.
So yeah, and it's an impromptu. Yeah, keep going. It's an impromptu, edition, but
yeah, a little tune in, a little. We'll keep
yeah,
you guys,
I mean, overall, man,
going.
This shit's been dry. I mean, this shit's been real dry, and you can't really blame them. The fact that there are fights on at all right now, where's the money for this shit?
Yeah.
Like, nobody really wants to pay for that.
Well, I think definitely something to keep in mind, because it is coming up in the next few weeks, is that Adesanya card against Costa.
Yeah.
And then you've got Blazkowicz fighting Dominic Reyes for the light heavyweight title that's now been vacated from Jones.
We'll just finish the podcast on the driveway.
So, that'll be a good fight. The card with Habib and Gaethje is already looking like it's going to be a pretty good matchup. So, I mean, we've got some stuff coming down, but I don't think until Adesanya we really have too much going on. I think Thiago Santos is fighting at some point.
Can you believe the Charlo and Charlo, the
Charlo brothers,
the double header is pay-per-view. Yeah, I mean, that's hard to, who's, yeah.
You mean on the same day?
Yeah, it's literally, yeah, it's on the same day as
you just said pay-per-view.
No, but it is pay-per-view. It's on Showtime. It's on
shit.
Showtime pay-per-view.
It wouldn't normally be on pay-per-view?
It just seems like either they know their audience, which is really dope, or like they really, I don't know. You would just think like nobody's gonna buy that, but plenty of people will, I think.
Well, it's hard to justify, man, when you've got the other level of talent through other promotion.
Yeah. I mean, I'm hard pressed to buy that pay-per-view, and I'm a big fan of both of them, and I think I would rather pay for, and I can't pay for UFC, man. I that's the thing. Yeah. I have a hard time giving them
I get
money before
there's not been a single event that I've really, boxing there has been. I would put some money towards a Mayweather fight every time.
Fuck that.
Every time, man.
Why, man?
Well, because,
dude?
he was you wanted to see him lose.
But that's such a waste of money, man.
Well.
Yeah, but yeah.
I mean, think of the fights, though, man. That like the Maidana. You tell me that's not worth the pay-per-view price, man?
No,
buddy.
No, that's the thing,
man.
And that's the thing.
It was a slugfest.
No, it was no slugfest. The first one? Here's what it was. It was a fight that was entertaining, but only because it was something we didn't ever get to see, and that was Floyd in uncomfortable positions.
I mean, the Canelo fight was good too, man.
And he wasn't even that uncomfortable. Like, yeah, he looked uncomfortable in there, but it wasn't like.
I don't think it was as close as people were making it out to be, though.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So it wasn't a slugfest, but like, it was. Good. It's something that Floyd fed to the public, saying that was a dope ass fight, right? He wanted you to enjoy that, but and I enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'll go back and I'll watch it. I love watching that. I love watching those fights. But he definitely selected his opponents carefully, and he's. I mean, how can you knock him, man? I mean, I guess
he's a fucking genius, man. I mean,
yeah, you can't knock him, man.
He's.
But I mean, no, I wouldn't say he's a genius, but.
I think he is for the sport. I think he's.
You do wonder, like, how does somebody end up getting hundreds of millions?
Buddy,
like
the car collection he has, buddy. with the Bugattis and the. I mean,
You know what?
He is Money Mayweather.
You know what it is? It's that he was an attraction that would bring a lot of revenue to Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So Vegas would generate like $1 billion because people would fly. Not only that, people would fly to Vegas. People would spend money at the casinos. People would, you know, like stay in hotels and shit. That just generates money for the city.
Yeah.
Think about the money Floyd what he generated when he fought. I mean, the fact that you know fucking Robert Guerrero, like, why? That's.
Oh, I know.
That's the last person I would want you to. I mean, not the last. Like, no disrespect to Robert Guerrero, but I wasn't. I don't know him. I mean, he fought Keith Thurman, and that was entertaining.
Yeah. Well, when I was, I mean, I know, you know, not only just him, but just the notable fights that he, you know, against Berto.
He fought Berto?
Was it Ward? Who'd Floyd fight his last?
Oh, Berto.
Yeah.
Berto.
So you know, it's just he played.
I like Andre Berto though. Like as a person, he seems pretty cool. Like I follow him on Instagram, and he seems pretty cool.
Too, don't you?
No, I don't follow B-Hop.
Follow right out of the ring.
You know that guy knocked Eleider Alvarez right out the ring. He's still knocking people out the ring, man.
Specialty, buddy. He's taking
Joe
Smash
Smith, Joe Smith Jr.
He's taking Smash to a whole new.
Joe Smith Jr. Man.
New source of reality, buddy.
So I guess anyway, I guess I was my brain just drifted off into like thinking that like why don't UFC fighters get to cash in on that shit? Because Masvidal, I'm sure.
Oh, he got paid. He definitely got paid for the Usman fight.
Like people like Masvidal, you got to be a name. You got to be a name.
Yeah.
Like McGregor for sure, and that's.
Yeah, I mean.
It's kind of a shame.
You know, the pay is ridiculously different. I mean, drastically different.
Yeah.
You know, when you got.
But here's the thing.
Cormier, you know, fighting, and he's probably got $1 million.
That's all anybody can ever talk about when it comes to Floyd. Is why I guess I want to wrap that. Let's bring it around and say like when it comes to Floyd, like yeah, was he in entertaining fights? Yes, we were entertained by some, but a lot of those fights he wanted you to think, oh, like yeah, didn't you like that? But really, I just fought somebody like you know that you didn't exactly want to see, and I schooled him, which is you know, and he generated millions, and that's all, and people can only talk about the money. I can't recall a slugfest. I like the fight with him and Cotto. That's a good fight. That's a good Floyd fight.
The fight with him and Canelo's a good fight too.
People, I mean,
buddy, he brought it. He was standing right in that corner with him, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, people would say that's Floyd running. People, you know,
No, he traded.
Yeah, he definitely tagged him, man.
He traded, man.
He definitely punched his face.
You can't take that away from him. But yeah, I mean, if you look, we're just talking about his last 5-6 years. If you go
exactly,
back, of course, yeah. I mean,
exactly.
Prime. I mean, he used to be a lot more offensive, man, and then he started getting smart and
you got a
lot more defensive overall.
Maybe I should kind of refresh myself on like some of his earlier fights. I know he fought like Diego Corrales, and that's supposed to be one of fights that Floyd actually people say he lost. And I think he might have. I don't recall if he gave him the rematch, but he fought Diego Corrales, guys like that, and who?
He was the one that put him down to his knee almost.
Oh yeah, Mosley got him good, but
yeah, I think it was Shane Mosley, right? He cracked him with that hook.
He really cracked him, yeah.
His knee almost touched.
Yeah,
maybe he even did. Maybe
he fought. I'm thinking it was. What's that dude's name? I can't recall his name, man, but I will later. He's got an interesting name. Never mind, I can't think of it. But anyway, I'm tired of fucking talking about Floyd, man. Why do you always fucking do that?
Buddy, I don't think I was the one that brought him up. I was just rolling with the flow on that one. But yeah, man. I mean, honestly, besides the little, you know, fight nights on Saturdays from UFC, I don't think we really got anything in the pipeline until we get that Adesanya card. But I do think that card is at least going to rival the Khabib and Gaethje card.
There are some boxing fights that are coming up that I am looking forward to, both Charlo fights. Though I can't pay for them. I won't pay for them pay-per-view. I can't. I won't.
Spoiled.
Yeah, I mean,
Spoiled.
they're getting their money, you know. They're going to get their money.
Yeah.
So, I won't I just, you know, I don't know. I get where those are good fights and nobody really knows them. That's the kind of the thing. So, I mean, people do know them, don't get me wrong. Nobody knows the opponent really. Like, do you even remember Derevianchenko?
No.
You came to my house to watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just doesn't.
You see what I mean? And so he now he's on Showtime again. He's gonna fight Derevianchenko, which I think is a good fight. But I think and here's my prediction, I guess. I think if Charlo touches him early and he might catch him and drop him early, and if he can, because he's got great stamina, man. He can kind of bull rush you and can keep up a high pace of action and of violence. But yeah, man, I think Derevianchenko does have a good chance in that fight, but he's got to kind of drag him out a little bit more and I don't know, man. He's gonna have to change up his rhythm or something. I don't know exactly how he wins that fight, but I do think he has to withstand the first, you know, taste of power that he gets from Charlo, because there's a lot. And then the other Charlo is fighting Jason Rosario, who Jason Rosario just recently won. He beat J-Rock in Philly, in his hometown. I watched that fight and I was kind of left in shock because I just watched J-Rock beat Jarrett Hurd to win that same title. But not only that, I watched Charlo knock out J-Rock. So I've seen J-Rock come back and win and lose so many times. So now Jason Rosario has got this, and this is at junior middleweight, I think, so 154. So yeah, man. I'm really looking forward to both Charlo's fights. Although part of me does feel bad because I'm looking forward to it, and part of me wants to. I don't know. Part of me likes. Maybe I'm just a sucker, but I feel better sometimes paying for entertainment.
For sure.
You know.
That's commendable, man.
And it's hard. It's hard when it's like, I know the UFC dominates. So, like, you know what I mean? They dominate that market space. But, like, sometimes, like, when it comes to Showtime, I guess sometimes I feel like maybe, but I really don't have that money. So, like, no.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like we don't live in that kind of, you know. I would love the idea of, you know, throwing on a pay-per-view and having a couple buddies
At this point, if you do that ever.
It's almost extinct because there's not even a pay-per-view draw.
If you do it ever, you better have your homies with you and splitting that. Like, I mean, the only way.
Yeah, that was the whole point of saying people over. Yeah.
The only way you can even, you know, justify buying a pay-per-view at this point is having your friends over. So if you do that, and unfortunately, I don't think I'll be seeing you that day, buddy. But that Saturday, what even is that? The 26th or some shit?
Yeah, September 26th.
Adesanya
and Costa, Blazkowicz and Reyes. It should be a pretty good night of fights, man. I think we're gonna get a Stipe and Lesnar fight now. I think that's a real possibility.
You think?
And it really makes sense because you've got Stipe that doesn't want to fight Ngannou.
Wow, you think? Wow. Wow.
You got Stipe that does not want a rematch with Ngannou. He's already beat him in the 5-round decision. He's the champ. Yes, Dana has a say in it, but he's your champ, heavyweight champ. He obviously shows no interest in fighting Ngannou again. So instead of having Jones fight Stipe now, getting an automatic title shot, it makes more sense for Stipe to fight Brock in the meantime, and then set up Jones and Ngannou. It still sucks for Ngannou a little bit because he's still getting passed up, but at least Jones.
But do you think it makes sense, like, business-wise for Stipe? Who else would he face? Who would he face before Lesnar? At this point, you got to think he has some sort of say.
Well, and he doesn't want to fight Ngannou, who's the number one.
Right.
contender.
Well,
so it's either Jones, Lesnar, or Ngannou.
He's definitely not fighting Jones because he probably doesn't like Jones. And
Well, it doesn't.
Jones
it's not
doesn't
fair.
deserve a shot with him. Yeah, doesn't
Yeah,
first of all.
He doesn't. But I
Um,
mean, you could say the same thing about Brock though too.
Yeah, and that's not,
But
and
it's- like I said,
that's
that's
where
why it's ultimately up to the
I'm
champion.
like why are we talking about Brock Lesnar at all? Who is talking about talking? Dana is or who is?
Stipe brought it up, man, saying that
The only people
He said that-
Brock Lesnar's not even talking.
Jones would have to get.
You notice how everybody's talking about Brock Lesnar? Like,
Yeah, I know, man.
he's the UFC slag, the heavyweight whore.
Bro, I'm just trying to figure out like what's even
Beep, beep, beep.
what's the benefit for Brock
Scratch
even
that,
right now
but
to do UFC? What's his benefit?
what do you mean?
Like, I'm guaranteeing WWE's paying a pretty penny for him to be a wrestler there, so it can't just be for the money because I don't think UFC could match the amount of money that
I don't
WWE
imagine. I don't imagine.
So-
Yeah, well, didn't he just lose in WWE?
Buddy, it's all rigged, buddy. I mean,
Well,
it's-
but yeah, does he make more money for losing or winning in WWE?
I don't
I don't know.
I don't
Actually,
know.
yeah, who knows?
Any wrestling fans out there, please let us know. In the comments.
Please,
But-
yeah, please,
but
please.
I don't think it's like champion,
Yeah.
because they rotate it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I don't
think
know
he's
why.
gonna be fine. I think he's just testing the waters. I mean, they're also talking about him fighting Fedor, who's ranked as one of the best MMA fighters of all time. Big heavyweight.
This
But
is
Fedor's
how
so far past his prime.
this is how this shit's dry, man. This is why we're investing now. This is why we're gonna we're getting our videos out there. We're talking to y'all now, because when shit starts popping again, y'all gonna be on YouTube looking this shit up, and we're gonna be already up in the algorithm.
in the algorithm. We're in
Yeah,
the
see right now they're
search
talking
engine
about
optimization, man.
they're talking about Brock Lesnar and shit, and
Brock Lesnar.
who gives a fuck? And Mike Tyson's coming back, and everybody loses their shit. That's the only thing people care about.
Buddy, they were saying, what had Jake Paul's the one fighting on Tyson's card, and Costa was
Jake. Jake.
Jake Paul. Costa was like complimentary and saying that he was like looking good in the gym and shit, man. I'm like, dude, he did like a lot of wrestling and background and shit in like high school. Like,
I don't doubt that he's an athletic.
he could
He's an athletic guy.
the leap, but buddy, he's got to.
Does he have the heart, buddy?
He's got to turn down the cringe. Is what he's got to turn.
Is it that
No
bad?
disrespect to Jake Paul, but
Is it cringe?
I don't like
The videos.
thing. I just don't.
You don't like the boxing thing?
It crawls up my skin.
I actually I've grown to not hate it, man. And here's
it's
why.
cool they're all getting a paycheck, but I feel like it is at some level a slap in the face if you're a fan.
Yeah, I mean,
You
yeah,
know?
yeah, and it is, but like the thing is, it's like fine. Boxing is like fine wine, man, and I mean, same with I guess a lot of things, but I guess, but you gotta exactly know. You gotta like see it before it. I have an idea in my mind of how this shit's gonna happen on September 26th. At least when it comes to the Charlo card, I'm open minded. With Adesanya and the other dude,
Costa.
Yeah. I think that guy's got a good shot, but I like Adesanya in the fight.
I think he's already won in the mental warfare.
I like Adesanya in the fight though.
You're picking him to
I
win?
think so. Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's gonna be a tough matchup. I mean, this is the same dude that went to war with Yoel Romero, man, and that dude puts on slugfest. So I don't know.
Okay.
But Adesanya's coming in as the champ.
Yeah.
Coming off of a boring defense against Romero, but an exciting title fight to get it from Robert Whittaker. So,
All right, man.
it's hard to pick him out of it.
We're fucking tired, y'all.
Yeah, I enjoyed this little.
This man just dropped me off. I gotta go. I'm trying to go to bed, and I'm sure you're trying to go to bed. You're taking it. Oh. Yep. So this is a special edition of the podcast. I know you can't see us, but
I had all my coffee.
little
Just a little couple sprinkles in the morning.
Sprinkles.
This is my cream and sugar.
of Adderall in the coffee this morning. It is now, what time? That's not the right time.
2:30.
2:30 in the morning.
2:30. It's an hour and 2 minutes slow.
Morning, y'all. And it's going to be uploaded tonight. So...
Right away. Right
yeah,
away for your
as
easy
soon
access.
as I go upstairs, I'm going to upload this on YouTube.
And then we're going to reach you guys.
Yeah, so...
Reach out the airwaves.
Gonna reach out through the screen. So
Yeah,
again,
feel free to go ahead and comment, like, subscribe, and just tell us how you really feel.
Yeah.
Tell us how you feel about the whole podcast.
And we'll talk to you guys later.
We'll talk to you guys later next Sunday.
Bye bye.
Good night.